Hey everyone, today we're going to see how the Nothing Ear 2, retailing at $149, stacks up against the AirPods Pro 2 at $249. And I'll be comparing them in 15 different categories. The bud that wins the most rounds wins. So yeah, let's start with round one, comfort. And I'm giving this one a tie. It's pretty much the same stuff, very similar ergonomics. The Nothing Ear 2 are slightly more compact earbud, but the part that actually rests outside your ear canal, it's a very similar size. The ergonomics are slightly different, which does affect how well they stay in, but both pairs, very minimal suction, no pressure. Both are buds I can wear for multiple hours with no issues. That's how they fit me. Fit is different for everyone though. Now with how secure the buds stay in, Nothing is gonna be getting the win here. For whatever reason, the way the ergonomics work, it just works slightly better with my ear canal. So I found when weight training, talking on the phone, exercising, making some pretty nasty training faces, the Nothing Ear 2 don't budge out quite as quickly as the AirPods Pro 2. And the AirPods Pro 2 still stay in my ear really well, completely fine with any kind of training. It's mainly when talking on the phone, AirPods Pro start to budge out a little bit quicker. And if you do like your running, both pairs have very minimal body-borne noise from the impact that you make on the ground. You don't hear too much of your own breathing as well. The Nothing Ear 2 do have an issue with the transparency mode, but I'll talk about that in that section. Next category is the IPX rating. You're only getting an IPX4 on the AirPods Pro 2 with the earbuds as well as a case, but Nothing Ear 2 wins this round with an IP55 dust and water resistant rating on the earbuds, and the case also has dust resistance, so it has an IP54 rating. Next category is the case and battery life. The AirPods Pro 2 get the easy win here with 30 hours in total with noise cancelling on, 6 hours from the earbuds, where the Nothing Ear 2, you're only getting 4 hours from the earbuds, 22.5 hours in total. Pretty poor effort there from Nothing, considering the case is a bit larger, slightly thicker, but still easily pocketable. What is impressive though is the fast charge you get on the Nothing Ear 2. Chuck the buds in the case for 10 minutes, you're gonna get 8 hours of playback. You only get an hour's playback with 5 minutes of charging on the AirPods Pro 2. Both cases do charge wirelessly. AirPods Pro have the additional benefit if you use MagSafe charging, but still AirPods Pro get the overall win for this section because I also find the simple design of the case. I know exactly when I grab the case where to open the lid, where with the Nothing Ear 2, it's square design. Unless you have the earbuds in the case, you actually have to look at the case to know which side is going to open the lid up. Small inconvenience, but Apple wins there. Next category is how environmentally friendly the earbuds are with their manufacturing. This is what Nothing gives you. You get a little bit of information there. But with the AirPods Pro 2, you get a nice decent list. You get percentages. So the win does go to the AirPods Pro 2 there if this is something that you are interested in. Next category is controls, and the Nothing Ear 2 are one of the few earbuds to also utilize Force Touch, first introduced on the first version of the AirPods Pro. And I gotta say, they do it really well, if not slightly better than the AirPods Pro 2. I find sometimes on the AirPods Pro 2, the sensitivity, I'll go for a Force Touch, it won't activate. This is quite rare, but it does happen. The Nothing Ear 2, it's just a little bit more sensitive. You get a nice click feedback, and that slight increase in sensitivity, I've never noticed any mispresses for me. Now let's talk about what you actually can control on the Nothing Ear 2, because you get some nice customization in the app. The only thing you can't customize is a long hold on either earbud, but you do have the option to add in a double press and hold, which is what I added my volume up and down to on the right and left earbud. So you can control everything adding that in, but it's definitely not as intuitive as a swipe gesture on the AirPods Pro 2, because the main benefit of having the swipe gesture for volume up and down means that you can use one earbud at a time and you can play, pause, skip tracks, control noise cancelling, as well as adjust volume up and down all on the one earbud. They're one of the few earbuds to do it, and they do it really well. Where on the Nothing Ear 2, you need both earbuds to control everything. The downside with the AirPods, you don't get much customization. You can only customize a long hold, but when the controls work so well, customization doesn't really matter. You do get some sneaky customization with the AirPods though, which includes how loud the beep feedback is when you adjust noise cancelling. And you can even adjust how long you have to press and hold for, as well as how long you wait in between swiping up and down. So overall winner, you can probably tell here, are the AirPods Pro 2. It's not just the intuitive controls, but being able to use one earbud at a time and control everything is pretty massive. And they also do have slightly better in-ear detection. It's almost instant when you take the earbud out, your music will automatically pause, chuck the earbud back in, and it resumes straight away. Where in my testing with the Nothing Ear 2, sometimes it would be pretty quick. Other times it'll take like a second, sometimes it'll take a couple of seconds. And this was on my left earbud. Sometimes it just wouldn't work at all. I'm not too sure if it's a faulty earbud because then it will start working again, but something to keep in mind. Now, connectivity, both buds have Bluetooth 5.3, SBC and AAC codec, but the Nothing Ear 2 also has LHDC, which is basically like LDAC, but a lower latency version, which is great as long as your phone supports it. Not many phones do support LHDC. Of course, the Nothing Phone 1 did receive an update that now allows it to use the LHDC codec. So if you use a Nothing phone, you're sorted, you should get some nice low latency. But comparing AAC even to LDAC, you can only expect a couple of % increase in sound quality if you're using regular streaming, increase another couple of % if you're using high quality streaming like Tidal or Apple Music, but it's not a massive difference in terms of quality. But since they have the option there, I'm gonna give Nothing the win for this round. A subtle issue I'll quickly point out though, is with single earbud use. So pretty much every earbud today, you can use one earbud at a time while you leave the other in the case. And normally that earbud will play the left and right audio channel so you don't miss anything with your music. But the Nothing Ear 2, if you're using the left earbud and leave the right in the case, you're only gonna hear the left audio channel, not the left and the right. So I'm not sure if this is a glitch, but I feel like this can be updated with firmware. A very small issue, but something worth pointing out. Next round is multi-device connection, because the Nothing Ear 2 have your typical multi-point connection where you can have two devices connected to the earbuds at the same time. And that works in a way where you do have to pause playback on one device before you resume it on your other device. And I tested this on my iPhone 12 Pro and my Samsung Galaxy S10e and also my MacBook Pro. Now the AirPods Pro 2, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, have seamless switching between all your Apple devices. It works very well. I use mine with my iPhone 12 Pro and my MacBook Pro. It doesn't work 100% of the time. I will manually have to connect every now and then, but it's very rare. But the benefit of traditional multi-point connection means you can connect it to an Apple device and then a non-Apple device. So keeping that in mind, I'm giving this round a tie. Next category is latency. So when watching videos and movies, pretty much all earbuds today are fine. No issues with the AirPods or the Nothing Ear 2. When it comes to gaming latency though, the Nothing Ear 2 do have a low latency gaming mode. So I was expecting some pretty low latency from the Nothing Ear 2, but in my thorough latency testing, the AirPods Pro 2 do get the win. Here are the results that I got. You can see the 184 milliseconds on the AirPods Pro 2 with my iPhone 12 Pro. That's about as low as it gets for latency. Great if you're into faster reaction games like shooters. Even then, around 300 milliseconds is still pretty good, but AirPods Pro 2 do get the win for this round. I'm also going to keep in mind I wasn't able to use the LHDC codec since I don't have a phone compatible with it, so I would be curious to see how the latency is with the Nothing Ear 2 on the Nothing phone. I assume it will be pretty close to what you're getting with the AirPods Pro and the iPhone. But now let's head outside and see what the call quality is like. I have already tested this and I am giving Nothing the win because they pick up voice just as well as the AirPods Pro 2, but I reckon they block out the background sound a little bit better. But here are the tests so you can hear for yourself. All right, so here I am in the outside world, currently recording the audio through my iPhone microphone so you get an idea of the noise going on around me. All right, and here is the call quality of the AirPods Pro 2, known to have one of the best microphones out there in the whole true wireless world. So let's see how the Nothing Ear 2 compares. All right, and here is the call quality of the Nothing Ear 2. In my quick test inside with some simulated crowd noise, the Nothing Ear 2 came incredibly close to the AirPods Pro 2, if not slightly better. All right, before we talk about noise canceling, if you're enjoying this video here, please chuck a like down there because it really does help the video out. Now, how I test my noise canceling, I chuck on my soundbar and I play simulation plain and crowd noise so I get some nice high frequency, mid frequency and low frequency sounds. And I also test all my earbuds in my gym for some real world noise canceling testing. And the AirPods Pro 2 are better. It's noticeable, but not a massive improvement. I'd say they're about 15% stronger in all the frequency ranges. And here's my overall noise canceling ranking with all the latest earbuds that I have tested. So the Nothing Ear 2 is in that shared 5th spot there. Still very solid noise canceling for the price you're paying. A couple of extras here. If you want to use noise canceling with one earbud, both pairs can do it. You just have to go to the settings on the AirPods Pro 2 and activate this. And with noise canceling personalization, the AirPods Pro 2 have nothing. It's just noise canceling on or noise cancelling off, where with the Nothing Ear 2, you can actually adjust the strength of the noise cancelling. I normally have it set to the strongest noise cancelling, but you can turn it down or just have it on adaptive, so it'll adjust the noise cancelling dependent on how loud the external sounds are around you. And also personalize it to your specific ear canal. I found this improved the noise cancelling by like a percent or two, but at least you can have it there. This will change from person to person. So you might get better personalization for your own ear canal. But the overall win there is still gonna go to the AirPods Pro 2. So the Ear 2, solid customization with the noise canceling. But when we talk about the transparency mode, now the AirPods Pro 2 win when it comes to customization, because the Nothing Ear 2, this is one of their big flaws. The transparency mode itself is actually pretty decent. It's a little bit hard to hear your own voice, but surrounding sounds, very good. It has a bit of white noise hiss, but the main issue with it is with the kind of hidden feature. You can't turn this on or off, but it has wind noise reduction built into the transparency mode and also with the noise canceling mode. So I noticed I was going for a walk outside. It wasn't even that windy of a day. And if the microphones pick up wind for a couple of seconds, it'll turn the transparency mode off. Same with noise canceling on, it'll turn the noise canceling off. And then it will take about 10 seconds for the transparency or noise canceling to switch back on when there's no more wind detected. So when I was talking about running before, if you want to run with transparency mode on with the Nothing Ear 2, you can't do it because the mics will pick up the wind and then you'll just have transparency mode off. So it's a cool feature if that's what you want, but the only issue here is that you can't turn that off. This is something that I'm sure could be easily fixed with firmware, but still the AirPods Pro 2, despite all this, have a much more natural transparency mode. It's very easy to hear everything, especially your own voice. And you get tons of customization in the app. You can customize the volume, the left and right ear balance, how bright and dark the sound is, and you also have an option for conversation boost. So you can really tailor them to the kind of transparency mode that you want to hear. Now the next category is with EQ shift. Now this is how your sound quality changes with noise canceling on compared to transparency mode on compared to noise canceling off. So most premium earbuds, even a lot of budget earbuds today, have a very minimal amount of EQ shift, but the Nothing Ear 2 doesn't have a massive amount, but it is noticeable. So I'll explain it like this. If you have noise canceling off, and then turn transparency mode on, you're gonna notice about a 5% increase in the treble. And then from transparency mode on to noise canceling on, that's about another 10% increase in the treble, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but this does mean your tuning will change when you're switching between noise canceling on and off and transparency mode. Where on the AirPods Pro, noise canceling and transparency exactly the same, but when you turn noise canceling off, the treble is reduced by about 5%, but very minimal. So keeping this in mind, the AirPods Pro 2 win this round. And the second last round today, we're gonna talk about volume. Now, when it comes to loud level listening, both earbuds go very loud. The Nothing Ear 2 have about 1 extra click of volume at max volume, and they both retain the same tuning all the way to 100%. You don't lose too much bass. Now, when it comes to low level listening on the first few clicks, the AirPods Pro 2 do sound slightly better. They have a little bit more extension in the sub bass and crisp treble, but the Nothing Ear 2 also sound pretty good at those low volumes. But if you want to really crank your earbuds to some crazy levels, the Nothing Ear 2 wins, so I'm giving this round a tie. Now, final round for today, we're gonna talk about what is most important, and that is sound quality. And I really like the sound of both earbuds. Right out of the box, the Nothing Ear 2 has a fuller bass response, where the AirPods have a nice deep rumble in the sub bass, slightly lacking in the mid bass, where the Ear 2 has a nicer blend of both sub bass and mid bass. The AirPods treble is more crisp and a little bit more forward, and this is the same with the mid range, so vocals come through a little bit more direct. So this would be a tie, but if I'm only choosing one earbud today, it's gonna be the Nothing Ear 2 because they have some really legitimate sound customization, where the AirPods Pro 2 don't really have any. On the AirPods, in the accessibility section under sound accommodations, you do have some options to increase the treble and increase vocals a little bit, but you can't customize the bass. It's not a proper EQ, where the Nothing Ear 2 has a normal EQ, but they also have some really nice sound personalization with the built-in hearing test. So with this, you run through a pretty in-depth hearing test. It took me about 10 minutes to do, and they're actually using a hearing test that I've tried in the past, the Me hearing test, which is an app you can download on your phone. And I was a little bit confused when I did it because on the Me app, when I did it, it said I had no issues with my hearing. And another hearing test I did, I got 95%, which I was honestly surprised I got. I thought my hearing was pretty bad, but on the Nothing app, it shows you in red what it increases. So it increases a lot of treble, a little bit of mids, and a little bit of bass for me. So I feel like they're using a different algorithm. It's not like a hearing test. They're just trying to make the sound the best for the specific person's hearing, but I do find it really does improve the sound for my hearing. And once you do that sound personalization, you can play around with the EQ, you can choose the intensity of the sound personalization down to the percent, and you can really tailor it to work the best for you. Now in the AirPods settings, you do have the option to upload an audiogram, which is kind of like what you do with the hearing test. So I went through the recommended apps that Apple recommended in the health app, did the hearing test, didn't get an audiogram for one of them, did the Me hearing test, I got an audiogram, tried uploading it, but it just didn't work. It didn't recognize all the figures. So then I tried the built-in hearing test, but that didn't do anything. It said that the stock EQ was fine. So honestly, a missed opportunity for the AirPods Pro 2. They could even just a bass boost option would be nice. They don't have any EQ. You can't customize the sound except for spatial audio. I find that increases the bass ever so slightly, and spatial audio works well by bringing the sound in front of you rather than being like kind of in your left and right ear. But the issue I find with it is that it creates a bit of echoiness with kick drums and vocals, and you can personalize the spatial audio to your specific ear, but at least for me, it makes it sound worse. So with all that in mind, the overall winner for sound quality is the Nothing Ear 2. And even though the overall winner today are the AirPods Pro 2, they did win the most rounds. It's really gonna come down to what's most important for you. Sound customization for me is one of the most important features, and the Nothing Ear 2 are also a lot cheaper. So if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, I'm recommending the Nothing Ear 2. If you do need those specific ecosystem features, which I personally do use, then AirPods Pro 2 might be better for you. But now if you wanna see how the Nothing Ear 2 compares to other earbuds at a similar price, check out this video here. I compared about, I think 6 or 7 earbuds to the Nothing Ear 2. So check it out. In the meantime, stay picky. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.